Thank you, babe. Yo, what's going on, everyone? What up, what up? It's your girl, Miss DJ Hoodie, getting at you guys with another Why Run podcast live. On this episode, we continue the conversation where we discuss what it takes to start the healing process. Plus, Rob and I have a little Friday fun, so stay tuned. Yo, what up, what up? You heard it. You heard the intro. It's your girl, Miss DJ Hoodie. And up on panel, we got Just Rob.
Boo, ¿qué pasa? ¿Qué onda?
What?
¿Cómo estás? ¿Qué está pasando? ¿Cómo te va?
She.
Yes.
Is it though?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I had to do a hard cut right there because I felt like the software wasn't gonna complete, which that was don't do this. Don't do this again. What were you gonna say?
Again?
No, like don't start giving me problems.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but it should be good. Maybe I was just tripping out. I don't know, but it's good now.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Don't do it again.
Yes. Stupid.
Hi. Oh, what I was going to say was we missed our Spanish lesson and French lesson yesterday.
Oh my God. He had me saying things.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Do you remember any of it?
Hell no.
El hombre. Remember?
El hombre. Hombre.
Yes.
Wait. Man?
Yes.
Dude? Sir?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
See?
You know Spanish. And it's weird because you don't really have like that accent of someone that's learning Spanish. You sound like you're hombre.
Tacos.
Those tacos.
Quesadilla.
Yes.
A
you
churro.
would survive in Mexico.
I would?
See? Yes.
Churro.
If you know how to ask for food and ask for money, then you're good. Anyway.
And a toilet. Baño, right?
Baño, yeah.
Baño.
Yeah.
I don't even say it right. Baño. Yes. Sí.
Quiero cagar.
Quiero llevar.
Cagar.
Gagar.
Ka.
I don't know, babe.
Cagar.
Say it again.
Cagar.
Gagar.
C-A-G-A.
Gagar.
So, there you go.
What is that, baby?
I need to take a shit. That's what that means. ¿Dónde está el baño? Quiero cagar.
¿Qué baño?
Yes. El baño, por favor, quiero cagar.
Por favor.
Yes, por favor. You have to say por favor, because they'll be like, what the hell?
I'd be like, yo, it's either a toilet or that bucket. You better fucking show me.
Yeah.
Oh my God. And you know what would really, really suck if I really had to take a shit? Like a really bad shit. And then you go to the door and it has a fucking pin code and they're like, no disrespect, but I can only say it in this order. Uno, dos, tres. You know what I'm saying? But they're scrambling the numbers, and oh my god, I will pull them by their fucking throat. You punch in the fucking code because I'm not gonna.
I don't. I don't
I'm
think
just saying.
Mexican places have restrooms yet. I mean, have
No, they do.
restrooms. What
Well,
they have?
here
That
they do.
they have codes.
Yeah, they have codes or a fucking key. And then on the
Yeah.
door it says out of order, and then it says out of order in Spanish.
Yeah.
And it's like, how can you serve chili and beans and have no fucking bathroom? As if
Mhm.
our stomachs are literally aligned with Pepto Bismol. Like we're not the same people. We don't eat this stuff every day. I enjoy a cheese enchilada, but no, this you can't do this to me right now.
Yeah.
And
See,
it's
that's why we should
insulting that
always
you're
carry a
laughing,
bucket.
but
Why?
because it's horrible.
No, we should all carry a bucket in our car. Have you seen? You've seen them, right? Because I sent it to you. But those portable toilets
Yes,
you
and
carry in your car.
we're getting a couple of those.
Oh hell yeah!
Hmm.
Hell yeah, we
I
are.
am not ashamed.
Nope.
Like, but because every place like they have like keys, and they have like pin codes, and when you gotta go, you gotta go. I'm like a child. Like,
Are
yeah,
you?
like you know when kids, when they eat something or drink something and right away I gotta go, like that's me.
Man.
And I hate to throw my dad out there, but I'm like my pops, okay? I'm
Nah.
proud of it.
So are you admitting that it's the chief?
Um, Possibly.
So okay. So I was right.
But I don't
You
think
are lactose intolerant.
I don't think so. I think
Okay,
everybody has that problem.
lactose sensitive. Let's put it that way.
Yes.
Okay. Because when you eat that fidel soup, you're not like, if it's by itself, you're good. But if you throw on all that parmesan that you like, you make it snow on that bitch. I seen you.
Lately, no. Like I just, I just put a little, little bit
Little
on top.
sprinkle.
Yeah, a little sprinkle.
Little
Then I
sprinkle.
mix that bitch. Yeah, I just now
Uh,
it's like, okay, I learned. I don't like walking around feeling gassy, and I don't want to let loose in front of somebody's doorstep when I'm leaving their Denny's, or you know what I'm saying, and like me walk
yeah.
off and like, yeah, have that shit caught on camera.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I've seen plenty of those, and they're hilarious, but I don't need to go viral because of that.
True, true.
Hmm. But then
What's
you'll
up, bro?
have sick motherfuckers like, oh, I still fuck her.
Oh my
Like, you're
god.
disgusting.
They better not say that.
Well, I heard that there's like fetishes where guys like that stuff. I mean, we're not gonna get into it, but I'm just saying, like, it's, yeah, twin
Like
flare
fart on my
ups. Say what?
face. Yeah. Yeah. I said like fart on my face type shit.
Yeah, yeah. Oh my god. Or they
No.
like to smell each other's farts, like stuff like that.
Oh.
Yeah, that kind of stuff.
No.
See, that's why I
No.
run out the room, babe. I
No.
go into hiding. And then when
Yeah.
I hear him come out of the bedroom, I'm like, babe, stay put. Like, stay over there.
Freeze.
Like, let's video chat. I'm not ready, man. I'm not ready. And we've been married over a year, so I'm not
Yeah.
ready yet.
Yeah,
And I
no.
love how he's so understanding. Like, he doesn't tease me. He doesn't give me shit about it. And yeah, just stay that way, baby. Just stay over there when I tell you to.
Yes, I will. I
Hmm.
will. So how you doing?
I'm good, baby. How are you?
I'm good. It's just hot as hell in my room right now. I always have to close my window because, like right now, the kid next door was playing with his dog, and he has one of them squeaky balls and shit. He's all tossing and squeaking it at the same time. I'm like, dude, Cause I was kind of hoping like there's a little bit of wind outside and it's kind of fresh, so I was like, I'll leave my window open. But then of course I was about to call you and then he started tossing it, so I was like, man, what are you doing, baby?
I was trying to put my mic on the stand, on the pedestal, so that I can
Oh,
paint as I'm doing the show with you.
oh, okay. I was
Yeah.
like, what's going on over there?
Yeah, sorry. You heard all of that? You heard me because I
I
muted the
heard it.
mic? Oh shit.
Oh,
Oh,
the
because
mic,
of
but
the
yeah.
phone. Yeah, the
Mhm.
the Bluetooth. Yeah. Okay. Stop.
It's okay. It's all good. We're good.
Yeah, and I had to make me some water because I'm fucking hot. This morning, well, I do this every single morning. Like when you were here, when
Yeah,
it started to get like really really hot, you know how I would low down the air conditioning because
yeah,
we would fucking, well, I would freeze but you would have the fan on.
yeah.
So yeah, I lowered down the air last night, and then I woke up at 9 o'clock because I would wake up at 6 or 7 to kick the air back on high
Yeah.
because obviously in Arizona it gets hot, so inside the house gets really really hot. So I woke up at 9 and it was really warm. So I woke up late turning on the AC high. So
Oh.
now I'm feeling it right now. So yeah, I'm trying to drink a
Mm.
lot of water because when I drink cold water and if I have the fan going, like I start freezing. So yes,
Mm.
drink cold beverages, cold water, and
Yeah.
yeah, you'll get freezing.
I
Hmm.
thought it was the opposite. I thought you told me to drink teas and coffee, hot coffee, and
No,
soups.
when you're outside.
Oh, inside the house
Hmm.
is cold and with the AC.
Well,
But in my
because
cave, I don't have AC.
when you're, well, not just when you're outside, but when you're outside moving around doing stuff, like if you're doing landscape or
Yeah.
like if you're doing outside work, then yeah, you would have hot or warm beverages.
Oh, okay.
Hmm.
Yeah, I try not to come outside. Come outside. I try not to go outside when it's during the day or at night or the afternoon. So I'm a hermit from now on until the sun goes bye bye forever. No, I'm not saying forever, but until summertime's over, I'm not coming out my house if I don't have
Yeah, Mother Nature would show up like, what the fuck did you say?
to. Yeah,
I'd
yeah.
be
Mother
like,
Nature just showed up at your house
mm.
yesterday.
Oh yeah, she did. Oh my god. I was like, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I was a little wet raccoon outside in the rain with my little hands together, like I'm sorry.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, she almost took my dump truck. I was like, no.
Don't take it.
I was a scared little raccoon with my ear
Yeah.
cheese.
I kind of
Hmm.
had an epiphany when it came to like weather and stuff, but I want to pray about it before I speak about it. I think it should come up in like the episodes coming up when we talk about
Mm,
spirituality and all that stuff because it does relate. But
don't forget.
yeah, no, I won't forget. I'll take notes for that. But
Yes.
it made sense to me when I thought about it. I was like, oh, okay. I just gotta pray and make sure that it's true before I speak on it. Well, I'm pretty sure people are still like, you're dumb. Stop talking. Just stop talking. But
Nah, I doubt that.
you doubt
Yeah, they
that.
can't. Well, yeah, they can't say anything about it yet, and I emphasize yet.
Right.
Mhm.
But,
Yep.
so what are your plans for the weekend? If you have any.
Honestly, I got to go out and work. I pretty much took this whole week off.
Mm,
Um, yeah, I need to. So yeah, I feel confident about it. I don't know if I'm gonna go out this evening because it's Friday, and people are gracious on the weekend. So starting on
yeah.
Friday. So I hope I can get some good deliveries and all of that. Say hello to people, get mad at the people. The normal
Yeah.
stuff.
Yes. Typical Friday
hmm
night things.
Yes, especially for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know when the Olympics are going on or whatever. Like I know they started yesterday, but I don't know what time because I think they're in France. So I don't know like the time zones and all that shit. I'm pretty sure I could watch it all day. They replay it over and over. There's
You
games
know,
all the time.
sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, go ahead.
No, like when, yeah, I don't want to speak too much about it, but I guess I'm just gonna give it a mention. But I guess they're busting up black people in the UK, loading them up on buses and taking them to a different country because they don't
Well,
want, yeah, they don't want migrants there.
yeah,
So, but it's turning into violence, of course, and it's
yeah,
just like, man, I don't know. Sometimes I just don't see myself fighting back unless my family was left behind. You know what I'm saying? Like if my family didn't know what the hell was going on, I would be like, yo, I'll get the fuck out of your country. Just let me go get my family. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
But I just don't understand why people are fighting to stay somewhere where they're not wanted. And I know that sounds fucked up, because obviously my people went through that shit, but they just, um, are like, we were invaded, you know what I'm saying? But for
Mhm.
us, it was kind of like I'm not gonna fight. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna fight for something that's supposed to be for everyone. You know what I mean? Like I'm like,
Yeah.
but it's people that say get the fuck out. Like they're the ones that obviously have the issue. They don't like you, or they don't like certain people. They only like their own kind.
Yeah.
And it's just sad to see. Like I just couldn't watch it. Like I was just like, what the fuck, man? And it's like, yo, I know it's bad. Like if you have businesses, or like if you have like a home and you have like nowhere else to go, but it's like I'm not gonna get myself killed over that shit. You know what I'm
Mm,
saying? And it's like if I'm being kicked out of a country with a shit ton of people, then it's like, man, we need to unite and like just come up with our own shit. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not gonna hype everyone to get together to fight, because we've
mhm.
already done that. We've done that like, hundreds of years ago. And when you think about it, it's quite recent. But I just don't think violence is worth it. I guess that's just the bottom line. Like it's just,
Mhm.
and I guess I'm saying it like, you guys, just be kind to one another. I know I can get in my bitch phases and bitchy moods and all of that, but like I'm really not gonna fight with someone. If someone's gonna get in my face, I'm gonna tell them what it is. I'm gonna be like, well, you shouldn't be doing that anyway. Any
Mhm.
motherfucker can tell you that. Like your attitude is wrong. Like you're just mad because I'm making valid points, but I'm not gonna fight you. You know what I mean? Like,
Mhm.
yeah, like you just gotta be fucking kind. Be kind to one another, and I would say, yeah, like give yourself a time limit on social media, because I'm trying not to be on this motherfucker too long.
Yeah.
Like, because I do realize it's starting to, like, it keeps me in a negative mood. You know what I mean? Because it's like, yeah, when we wake up in the morning, Rob and I, we do spend time together, but we're both scrolling, we're sharing stuff, and then like we try to go on about our day. But when we take time off, or like when we have a moment to ourselves, we end up picking up, these stories and these videos, and it just puts us and keeps us in a shitty mood. I know it does me, but it's like, okay, like, you know what, fuck it, I'm not in France, I'm not in the UK, so it has nothing to do with me, when it's my ability to implement and share the teachings of being kind. You know what I'm saying? And
Mm.
it is something that I shouldn't ignore, but it's like I'm actually taking this anger almost out on my artwork. Like my artwork is the ones that is gonna suffer. So it's almost like I have to cleanse myself and my thoughts and my heart, get rid of my anger before I even pick up these ornaments to paint them.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, I could be back at where I need to be. I'm in a peaceful place, but I'm feeling good right now, but who's to say that when I leave my house to do the work that I know I should be doing, running into shitty people on the road or in a restaurant or at the drop off location. I don't know how it's going to be, but I can almost predict that it's just like every other time. It's yeah, it's just we're dealing with our own battlefields over here. But like I
Mm.
said, I don't want to get into it. I mean, you can respond if you want to, baby, but I'm just it was just hard to see. That's all. Like
I
just be
haven't
kind.
seen that side. I haven't seen that side. Like I know. Um. Well, first of all, I watch all sports, and this year, for some reason, I haven't been keeping up with my baseball team or any of my teams, so I haven't really watched sports. And then yesterday, like, I didn't even know that the Olympics were gonna start yesterday. And then when I heard about it, I was like, oh, okay, like I feel like I could just sit and watch the Olympics. But then I did. I went online. Well, I went on X, and I saw some videos of people. I don't know. It feels like people are just pointing out the negative stuff, but they were showing like the ceremony. They were saying like, "Oh, are they trying to tell us something? Is it a warning?" So I did see that part. I didn't see people like the violence and all that stuff. I haven't seen it. I'm sure it'll come up. Um, but like how you were saying, I'm picking up on like I'm seeing all the negative shit online, just online with other stuff. And I am getting to the point where I'm like, man, I don't even want to like scroll this anymore. I told you
Hmm.
yesterday I was reading a story and I was like, this is fucked up, and the story was fucked up, but the thing that really got to me was the comments, people commenting on that story, and I was like, I can't like, what would make somebody leave a comment like that?
Hmm.
And then so I was like, I need to, I need to not be online right now. And then I did, I got off, and then you and I were talking, and then I don't know, like I wouldn't say that it carries on with me for a while, for a long time, but I do feel like what I guess the more I see negative things online, it's like I'm starting to sometimes feel like what's the point? You know how we're trying to implement spirituality into modern day problems, or
Hmm.
how we can help people. And at some points or sometimes when I see all this negative stuff, I'm like, what's the point? It almost feels like people are too far gone. Like there is no point in trying to help. But then when I start feeling that way and when I start thinking that way, then it's like, well, then what's my point? What's my purpose? Because I don't want to live in a place where I don't want to live in a world where it's all modern stuff and problems and negativity and hate and all these things. So I don't know. It does make me wonder, like, what the heck
Hmm.
am I even doing? Like, what's my purpose if I'm just gonna be in a negative space? So I do take myself offline. I am like, okay, I need to not. be watching all this stuff right now. But
Mhm.
I think that's part of the reason, or most of the time when I watch shows or TV or just anything, it's when I'm like, okay, I need to numb myself. I need to not think about stuff. Because, they're not going to show all that negative stuff on TV. They're not going to show what's going on behind the scenes. That type of stuff is
Mhm.
shown on Instagram or those social media platforms where it's like, that's where you see
Yeah,
that.
it's almost like my parents don't even know what the hell's going on. Because
Right.
my parents, they don't even own a personal Facebook.
Mhm.
Like they're not on these apps. They don't have an Instagram. They don't, they're not on Twitter. And then when I show them these things, because whether I think it's hilarious or it's just like, oh, this is what's going on now. And
Mhm.
they're just like, what the fuck? Like, like they're just besides themselves. Like they're just like, are you kidding me? This is what's happening. And to I guess include a little bit of spirituality and modern is my dad. He's the one that's telling me like, oh, this is what they've predicted long time ago. Like when
Mhm.
the elders would talk about the things that are going to be coming in the future, and
Yeah.
my dad's like, oh my gosh, I can't believe that it's actually here. Because last night, you kind of heard a little bit of our conversations, right? And my dad talks about things when he was a little boy, and
Yeah.
these are things that he heard when he was a little boy. These are things that they taught them, that taught my dad and all the other young men that were my dad's age at that time, like what the future was going to look like. And my
Yeah.
dad is just like, oh my god, like it's actually here. But my parents, they don't really keep their ears to the ground. Like they're just going about their lives, just being a simple man and woman, husband, wife, best friends, doing things together. That it's like all of these things, it really don't matter. And a lot of people like, oh well, it's gonna impact everyone, it's going to impact them. But it's kind of like, yeah, well, we shouldn't let it.
Yeah.
Like my parents, like if you guys ever talk with my parents, like my parents, they literally don't worry about anything. They're not worried about the outside world.
Yeah.
Like they go out to the casino to enjoy themselves. They're not looking like, oh, they're just they're just blowing their money, or they're just giving their money away, or to some rich white guy that owns a casino. And it's like, well, actually we'd rather give our money to Native American casinos.
Mhm.
And I joke about that, but it's they're not worried. Like they just want to go to the casino, enjoy a meal, play $50, and go get a coffee, and do more deliveries. You know what I'm saying? Like, and they're not worried about like all these, like I'm just saying, these Trump supporters at Taco Bell, or like they're not worried about any of those things. That when when we tell them what's going on, they're just like, holy shit, okay, well, we know now, and
Mhm.
we just gotta protect ourselves. We just gotta, like we just got to keep working hard, and working not harder, but it's like we're gonna keep doing what we're doing, whether it's working or it's enjoying our lives together as a family.
Yeah.
That's what I think it should be about. That's why I'm not gonna get myself sick over a presidential debate that has never done shit for the people. Never. It'll never happen.
Yeah.
That's why I listen to Robin, what he says, and it is scary, because it's he's telling me his concerns and all of these things. And it's just like, okay, well, we just gotta navigate the best way that fits our lives, that is doable for ourselves,
Mhm.
and adapt. Yeah, I know it sucks. No one wants to hear that, but it's always been like that. It's always been like that.
I think there's three types of people. I think there's people that know and they don't care. There's people like us that we we know and we want to share the information with other people, but we're not gonna let it cripple us either. And then there's people like your parents that are just like, okay, well, I'm still gonna live my life no matter what's going on. So I think they need someone like us because we are aware of the dangers, and if it gets to the point, like for instance, let's say we're talking about things that are going on in France right now, right? Well,
Mm-hmm.
we're aware of it. We're telling them, so they're aware of it now. Like they're not worried about it right now. But who's to say that something like what's going on over there can't happen here? Which I think that's very possible. So they're
Of
not gonna
course.
worry about it now. They know about it. So if they see it, say in 10 years they start seeing something like that, then they'll be like, oh, okay, we've been aware of this. We know how to take care of ourselves through this.
Mm-hmm.
So I, we need people like them, but we also need people like us. Like I said, I know all these things and I know all these dangers and all these fear tactics that people are putting out there, but I'm not gonna let it control me. I'm not gonna let it stop me. But I am gonna share the information with other people. But it's not trying to cause fear in them. I don't want it to cripple anyone. I don't, and like I said, there's other people that know and don't care, or there's people that know and let it stop them from living their life. They're too afraid to even leave their house because they're scared that something bad's gonna happen to them.
Right.
And so knowing about the dangers but not letting it stop you, I think that's how we should all approach life
Mm-hmm. Of
because
course.
it doesn't have to be specifically the same thing that's going on over there. It could be anything. Like, just imagine that there's a group, which if there is a group, but I'm saying 70 years ago when people didn't know about that group that doesn't like people for the color of their skin starts kicking off again, right? Because that's a very strong possibility with what we're talking about, the presidential nominees and stuff. It could kick on the fucking race war, right? And we're thinking like, oh, political shit doesn't bother me. It has nothing to do with me. It doesn't affect my life. But it does in a way because it could set off a group of people that just don't like us because of the color of our skin. And like, I guess the point that I'm trying to make is you telling your parents like, hey, this is what I'm hearing. This is what's going on in the news, or this is what I'm seeing. Just be aware of it, you know, but don't let it stop you from doing the things that you're doing. Basically what you did last night, right? You showed them stuff,
Mm-hmm.
and they're like, "Oh shit!" Like, "Oh, okay." So now they know, and of course, like I said, knowing that that's a possibility for us too, and like he said, he's heard of this before. He just didn't think he would see it
Like
or
it
he
would
would
be in
know of
his
it.
lifetime.
Yeah. Yep. I feel like everything's been in our lifetime.
Mm-hmm.
Like when I hear about women couldn't vote, that seems like damn, that must have been like thousands of years ago, and it's like no, that was like 70 or 80 years ago. It's like what the fuck? So there's
Wait, wait,
people.
wait, did you see that meme where the guy was he said that his son asked him what year he
Oh
was
yeah,
born in, and he said in the 1970s, or
yeah,
yeah, 1970, something like that. I think it was like 1979. And then
hmm.
his son asked him if he was a slave.
Yes, yes, it like
I
yes,
was like, wow, okay.
but it's weird to think like there's still people alive right now that were around when women couldn't vote. Well, I think that generation's kind of crossing over to the other side now, but we're getting to like we know someone or at some point we knew someone that that was around that era. That's still like from the 50s and 60s, right? From the
Mhm.
40s, the 30s, and it seems
Mhm.
like, damn, that's a long ass time ago. And it's like, yes, it is, but they're still here, and they still tell us the stories, and history does repeat itself. So us being like, oh, I can't, like, there's nothing that this person is gonna teach me. That's bullshit. Because, like I said, history repeats itself,
Mhm.
and we should be aware, but we shouldn't be scared. Ooh, that's a quote right there. I'll make it a T-shirt. But
Yeah, the thing that I admire about my parents is that, if someone were to be like, "Oh, I'm going to kill you," and they would be like, "Okay."
yeah,
Like, I don't like that you're a Native American. I'm going to shoot your fucking brains out, and they would just hold hands and go together. But
yeah,
I understand that, it really isn't right. It's just not right. And I hate to, say that my parents wouldn't fight back, or but it's almost like my parents, they would say that they've already lived their lives. Like,
mm,
they're strong enough to say that, if they've kind of already uh done their purpose. So I guess, that's something that I would like to teach, is that,
yeah,
yeah, you do have a purpose. Everybody does. It's just that you gotta know yourself to know your purpose.
exactly.
So,
That's,
but
I'm
see,
sorry.
I'm only saying it on behalf of my parents. Everybody else is just a
No,
piece of shit. Like,
no,
I just don't see it. I just don't see it in people. I see it in my parents. And I can't even say that I see it in my uncles or my aunts, or my grandparents, that that are, they're not really my grandparents, but in the cultural aspects, like, I still have grandparents, but like, I don't even see it in them, and they're like older than my parents. Like,
mm,
I just don't. You want to believe it. And it's just, I hate knowing too much about people, because
yeah,
that's where it stops me. And it's just like, okay, I know you're this person. Are you willing to change? Yes or no? If not, bye.
yeah.
But see,
I
I
was gonna
just
say,
turned a whole delightful conversation into something. Just see, like, that's what I do. Like, I shit on everything. I don't mean to, but
no,
that's just how real it is for me. But now, I'm gonna
I don't
let you
think,
take over.
I don't think you shit on stuff. But okay, let me break some people's hearts right now. People, people think like, oh, this presidential stuff means nothing to me, has nothing to do with me. Okay, cool. So what are you gonna do if, let's just say, Trump wins, and then they do implement this thing? Okay, this is what pisses me off. Like I said, I think I've said this before, but I'm not sure if I said it on Spaces or if I said it here. He acts like I don't know what's going on, but then he talks about things like, okay, this Project 2025, right? He's like, oh, I don't know, I've never read it, I don't know, I didn't draw it up, so it's not about me. But then he's like, oh, it's an extreme thing. It's very extreme. So he has read it. He does know about it. He's telling on himself, but then people are like, oh well, yeah, he's not gonna implement it. Okay, let's just say that he does, right? You know what's in this Project 2025? That people might be like, well, that has nothing to do with me. Okay, do you watch porn? Have you ever watched porn? Did you know that
Yeah, motherfucking yeah.
they want to make it against the law? They want to ban porn. So then what happens if they do that, right? Then porn goes into the black market, which this is the reason why it's possible that it could be done. Because what do rich people want? They want more money. If you make something illegal, doesn't mean that people are not going to get it. That just means that they're going to have to go through more loops to get it, which means that not only were you are you going to make more money if you make it illegal, because then you could sell it to the people, right? You could provide it. And if they get caught using it, then you can punish them by more financial burden. Does that make sense? Same shit that
Yes.
happened with weed. Same shit that happened with weed. Why they made it illegal. Why they banned it. because they knew that they could tax it. They knew that they could make money off of it. And they also knew like we can make money by selling it illegally, which people are still gonna get it, but and then when we catch them with it, then we can make double the money. So we're still gonna make money with it being illegal, and we get to bust people doing it. So that's the same shit that they're thinking or talking about doing with porn. And people want to be like, oh, well, porn is never gonna be illegal. Okay, that's what people thought about weed. That's what people thought about a lot of stuff, and it's gonna happen. That's
This is all
that
new
is
information to me, but yeah, I see what you're saying.
it's gonna happen because, like I said, it's gonna make them more money. If it's
Hmm.
something that is illegal and you're gonna have to go through the black market to get it, then of course it's gonna be more expensive, and of course it's gonna, like I said, if they catch you using it, which they can because they can track you, they can track your search histories, they can track all that stuff. Um, they're gonna catch you, and then they're gonna fucking make more money off of you. So it's not. I'm not talking about just like things that people are like, oh, that has nothing to do with me, Social Security. I'm not even thinking that I'm ever gonna get or be on Social Security. Okay, but what about porn? What about abortion? What about all these other things that they're talking about? What about all the things that they're like all these federal government entities that they're making into one that they want to control? All of those things should
Mm.
be concerns of ours, but of course people are like, oh, politics, that's nothing to do with me. But it'll happen. You know, never mind. I was gonna say
No,
something.
what? No, go ahead.
I saw a video or a little clip yesterday of an audio from Trump where he was telling people not to vote because they already had all the votes. So I'm hoping that the people in his little cult following listen to him and they don't go out and vote. Please listen to your leader. Do not go out and vote. You guys already have the votes. You don't have to go out and vote. And I don't even watch porn. It's not about porn for me. Is that weird that I don't watch porn anymore?
Yeah, what you said anymore? Liar.
Anymore.
Yeah, that
You
was
said it.
strange.
It is weird.
Yeah, it was weird when you and I first got together. I asked you about it, and you were like, "No."
Yeah.
I was like, "Do you get horny at all?" And you were like, "Yes."
Actually, what I said was no. I said sex does not control me.
Hmm.
I did. I used to watch porn, but I don't know. It's weird because I hate. See, this is, and we can kind of get into the whole spiritual conversation now after this. But
Okay.
for me, it's hard for me to separate sometimes the modern and the spiritual. So yeah, in a modern way, I would be like, okay, I'm gonna watch some porn, right? Just whatever. And then I would start watching it. I'll be like, oh, but that's somebody's daughter. That's
Oh my god, are
that's
you
somebody's
serious?
yes. That's somebody's sister. That's somebody's cousin, or even the guy. I would be like, that's fucked up. She's just using him as a piece of meat. That is fucked up.
I'd be like, yeah, and he's okay with it. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, but see, that's what I'm saying. Like, I couldn't separate those things, and
You
I'm
would
like,
just kill
man,
it for yourself.
yes. So
And
then
then
I
you're
was
like,
like,
no, I'm
okay,
good. I'm like, I'm good. I don't need
yeah,
it.
exactly.
Oh my god,
When
you drive me
I got with
nuts.
you, it.
Yay.
But you did the same thing. But you did the same thing. You said that you used to have what, a subscription or a membership or some shit,
Yes, I
and
did. Yes, I did.
and I didn't ask you to get rid of it. You just did that
No,
on
you
your own.
didn't. I was just like, shit, I got the real thing over here. Yeah, he fulfills every single one of my saved videos.
See, I will admit that I did have one that I had saved that I was like, okay, I don't. There's no. spiritual anything here, so okay, I'm gonna keep this one. And if I ever wanted to watch it or needed to, then I would. But then I've never gone back to it since I met you, since you and I got together. And I was like, this is cool. But yeah,
Mm-hmm. That's the only
it
part
is.
of the law that we're okay with them getting rid of.
I'm okay with it. No, no. See, my issue with the government is I don't think that the government should control. This is okay.
Oh yeah, that's giving them too much control.
Yeah, I think everybody, including the government and the people, forget that the government works for us. We put them in office. We should have some say into what goes on. Now it's like they're controlling us. They're telling us what we can and can't do. What doing the things that we want to do is going to cost us and shit like that. Like they have way too much control. We need to take back some of that control. But how do we do that? That's what I don't know. That's why I don't get into the whole political shit or try not to. I try and stay informed because, like I said, had I not known about this Project 2025, like I have a lot of people in my life that are like, okay, we gave Biden a chance, and to us because these people do have a little bit more money than other people, and they're like, well, the taxes and all that shit, all the inflation and all that affects us. So that's the reason why they want Trump back in office because they know that they're gonna get some tax breaks. So I'm like, okay, cool. Like money controls you. It doesn't bother you that they're trying to control everything. It's not just taxes. It's not just them giving you a break on taxes and the economy and inflation and all that other shit. It's everything else. It's like you're giving away your power or more of your power for one thing in return. It's like
Hmm.
that. There's always a price to pay, and I think that that's another spiritual thing that we can talk about. I don't know if this time or coming up. Like there's always a price to pay, and we are gonna pay the price. And yeah, I don't know.
Hmm.
My brain is doing some stuff. Is doing some backflips. Is like, yes, talk about this, but don't talk about this. So I'm just gonna shut up now.
No, because you gotta break it down like the purpose of the show.
So
What do you
the
want to cut
spiritual
it
part.
or what?
No, no, no.
Okay.
The spiritual part of what we're gonna talk about now is, I guess, kind of. I did a. I don't know if I could pull it up because I have the show pulled up, but
Oh, you
let me
want me
see
to do it?
the notes.
Yeah, I have it.
Okay.
Yep,
Yeah, because I don't think I have the little checklist that I made.
I got to bit.
All right. So the first one was what? Be intentional. This is almost
Yes.
like a little recap. The first two are recaps of the last two shows. The first one was to be intentional, and what does that mean? Is like you're waking up to what you want now. Now you know that there's more to life than just wake up, go to work, or go to school, and you know come home and sit on the couch, pretty much. So you're being intentional with what you do and how you spend your energy and your time and yourself. So that's the first one. And I don't know, should we do follow ups on that?
What do you
'Cause
mean?
you said yesterday, and I didn't remember you saying it when I was on the show, but I heard it on the playback, where you saying that we should do chapters, like
Yes.
teaching people how to be intentional. But
Mm-hmm.
if we do that on the show, that's gonna take a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Yeah, but it has to be
so
done. So, what's our rush?
you know, okay, so give somebody an example of how to be intentional.
You gotta give me a for instance first.
Like to me, being intentional is, like I said, make the decision that you're tired of doing the same shit, getting no results, or feeling like there's no purpose, or that this can't be the only thing. So being intentional means accepting that there is something bigger. There is a spiritual part to life. Setting your intentions, like I want to learn, I want to be a better person.
Yeah, my whole thing would be like, okay, well, you gotta make moves. You gotta
Yeah,
make yourself move towards those things. You gotta, kind of, you gotta prove yourself to yourself. If not, if you literally got like no direction, okay, well then if you got no direction, then you have no excuse to not do it for yourself. Is that the right
yeah,
answer?
yes.
Okay, because I go too far. But go ahead. I'm gonna try to keep my answers hella short. But go ahead, baby.
No. Well, okay, so that would be the first thing that I would say. If somebody was to start their healing process, like I said, the first thing is be intentional, and people wanting to change, that's the intention. So then the second thing, which is what we were talking about yesterday, is be honest with yourself. Like, why do you want to do this? Because spirituality and being a spiritual being and accepting it comes with, it's a heavy burden to carry. It's something that's not something to joke with or play with, or it's not something that you can be like, oh, okay, I'm tired, I'm just gonna not be a spiritual person anymore. That's not how it works. That's why they call it an awakening, because once you're awake to it, all these things are just gonna come to you, and that kind of goes with what your abilities are, if you have any, because there's levels to all these things. Like, you don't go from just being a regular modern person to being a god, or being a saint, or being an angel, or working side by side with God. That's not how it works. God has a purpose for all of us. What your purpose is up to him, not up to you. But being honest with your intentions. What do you want? Are you doing this because you know that there's a bigger purpose out there for you? Or are you doing this to better yourself? Are you doing this for selfish reasons? Are you doing it because you feel like, oh, if I start doing spiritual stuff, then God's gonna bless me? Are you doing it for the material things that you think you're gonna get because you see all these other people talking about, oh, well, God keeps blessing me because I'm doing His work? Like, being honest
Mm.
with yourself. That's what I mean with be honest. And because there is no lying to God, there is no lying to a higher power. He already knows your intentions. He just wants to hear you say it. He wants to know that you know what you're doing. So I would say being honest is the second thing. That's kind of what I was trying to say yesterday, but I ran out of time. But being honest, I don't know if you want to speak on it.
No, you're
No?
good. Yeah.
Okay. So in this, are we just gonna do a rundown of the whole thing? Because I think this is like a starting guide. I would say that this is, and I didn't even ask you if you agree with it, but you have the list, right?
Yes.
Do you agree with it?
What with what you said?
Like, these are like, if
Oh,
we were
like
to
the
start,
list.
yeah,
Yes. Yes.
if we were to start writing the manual on how to awaken yourself, is this? Do you agree with the stuff on the list?
Yes, I approve.
You approve? Good.
Hmm.
I was like, am I just full of crap? But okay, so I have the third thing on this list is heal the inner you. What does that mean? To me, that means, unfortunately, we all deal with things that we're not proud of. We all deal with things from our childhood, from our upbringing, from our, like, we've made mistakes because of the decisions that we've taken. And a lot of times our decisions are based on how we grew up, what we were exposed to when we were children. And sometimes we use that as an excuse. Like, I did this bad thing because of the way I grew up. So healing the inner you means go back to that that moment. Knowing now how life worked out for you, would you go back and change that? That goes back to being honest. Be honest with yourself. If you could change it, then I would say you can change it. You can heal the inner you. Treat that whatever age it happened. That it could be as an adult. You could be 80 years old and healing the 40-year-old you. You could be 100 years old and healing the 5-year-old you. So treat that you how you would have liked to be treated or what you needed at that time. I don't know. I feel like I'm confusing people. Hopefully, it's making sense. But just like I said, be honest about where you failed, where you feel like that's where I needed to help. That's where I needed somebody to show up for me and go back and heal that part of you. Because it's an excuse and it's a cop out to be like, well, somebody hurt me at age 5 and that set the tone for the rest of my life. Because that's not true. And in spirituality, you have to be honest with yourself. You have to be pure with yourself, and you have to heal yourself. That's one of the first things you need to do is heal yourself. Anything, baby?
No, you said it. You said everything.
Okay. So the next thing on the list, and I think what I said, what one is be intentional, two be honest, three heal the inner you, and number four, I would say build your guides. Building your guides means accepting your ancestors, accepting that you are connected to something greater than yourself. And whether you believe it or not, there's people that came, like, we've been here forever. You've been here before. This isn't the last or the first time you're going to be here. Where here is, that's what changes, but we stay the same. That's why I said you're going to continue being with yourself for the rest of eternity. So building your guides is it's accepting that there's something out there that you're tethered to, you're connected to. A lot of people go through life thinking that they're alone, that nobody cares about them, they're not connected to anything or anyone, they're a free spirit and all these things. And honestly, we're all connected, not just to each other, but there's people and things. That's another thing is that guides can be anything, anything that holds you responsible to your choices and your thoughts and all that stuff. That you know how sometimes people say, "Oh, my guardian angel," and you don't just have one, you have a lot, and you are one. So building that connection with, like I said, and it comes with being intentional. It comes with being honest, and it starts when you start healing yourself. That's when you start building your guides, the things that hold you responsible. Anything else, Lou?
Nope.
No? Okay. So then what we're at 5, build a relationship with your higher power.
Yes.
Because I think this is where people are like, oh no, now you're introducing God and now you're introducing, all these other things. Your higher power can be energy. Like, for instance, I started with the universe. I was like, I don't necessarily believe in God. I don't necessarily believe in, like, I didn't even know about energy and all that stuff. I was like, the universe. It's universal. So I didn't know what it was. I didn't know where it was going to lead. I didn't know what at some point I was going to get to accept or deny. This is where you have to be honest with yourself. Is this really something that you want? Because before you build a relationship with the higher power, that's creator. You can't see. I was gonna go into a whole thing, but no. I'm gonna keep it as simple as possible. Building a relationship.
Uh, no, what were you
Well,
gonna say? That way I can add it with the notes.
I was gonna say you can't go to the Father, to the higher power, and be like, "Oh no, never mind, I changed my mind."
Okay, I'm just writing it into the notes.
You're writing all this, everything I'm saying.
No, I was I was posting links in the chat.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So yes, building a relationship with your higher power, because that's probably the most important step that you're gonna take. Once you take that step, there is really no going back, because you can't acknowledge something and then be like, "Oh no, never mind, I never saw that." Because I think when you get to this point, that's when your higher power, right? I'm not gonna label your higher power, but for me, my higher power is God. So now I can't take it back. Now I can't say, well, God isn't real, because God has shown me that He is in many different ways. And it is because I started with intention, and I started with being honest, and I started with healing. And this isn't just like once you get done with this, then you go to the next step. Like all of this is going to start happening for you once you decide what you want, which is the first step, being intentional. So that's the number fifth on the list. Number five on the list, I mean, sorry, is building a relationship with your higher power. You want to add anything to that?
No.
Okay.
Yeah,
So number
I
six,
don't want you to think that I'm not like I'm just like being like a yes person.
no. I know, like I told you yesterday, you're way beyond all this. I'm trying to talk to the people that, like, these are the things that I've learned the last year. I'm still new on this journey. I'm still a baby. I'm still taking my first steps, even though I know that for Audie, she's like, no, you're way more advanced than you think. Like sometimes she tells me that I'm stronger than her, and I'm like, there's no way, because she's I see her way above me, and I'm trying to bring people along with me. And I'm not saying that you're not that's not what you want, but I think you're at the point now where it's like, nope, leave them, stay right there. But I know that I don't know. We're just at different levels, and I think you're way higher than the people that I'm talking to right now.
Yeah, and I do. You're saying all the right things. So
Okay.
these things that you're saying, they need to be said. So I got no objections or anything. So
Okay.
continue.
So what are we at? Number six. Six would be always keep your intentions pure. What does that mean to me? That means to me is when you say, I want to work for God. I want to be a soldier. I want to be a warrior. I want to be on the right path and the right track and be a good person. When things start happening for you, because they will start happening for you. You will get people coming to you. You will get things coming to you. You will get money. You will get whatever it is, whether it's fame, fortune, love, all these things. Then all of that, like I said earlier, all of that comes with a price. Because let me give you a little bit of I guess, an example, right? Let's say you're talking to someone and your intentions are to help them. And then, of course, they're accepting the help and they're very grateful, and they don't know how to show their appreciation other than giving you money, right? So now they give you money, they give you a donation, they give you something that's gonna obviously help you. You get a taste of, oh shit. So if I help people, they can give me things. Keeping your intentions pure is understanding why you're doing it. If you're doing it for things like, again, we go back to honesty. If that's the reason why you're doing this, then be honest. Keep your intentions clear. Because again, you can't go to God and be like, "Oh, I want to help people," and then He's gonna bring you people to help, and then you get blinded by the things that these people bring. Does that make sense?
Yes.
I hope it does. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So keeping your intentions pure, and you will be tested, because unfortunately, I don't want to say the devil, but the dark entities, they don't want you to be enlightened. They don't want you to work for God. They don't want good. They don't want peace. So of course they're gonna tempt you. They can't stop you, but they will tempt you. So if you understanding where you stand and what your intentions are, then that's gonna keep you on the right track. Because God is not gonna force you to stay on track. He's gonna help you if you want to stay there. But because we have free will, we do have that choice. Again, if somebody comes to you with $1 million and says, "Hey, you help me with my issue, with my problem. Here you go." What are you gonna do with that? That's where your intentions matter. Are you doing it for the money? Are you doing it for the fame? Are you doing it for what spirituality or being awake gets you? If you are, then like I said, just be honest, because there are different levels for everything. But keeping your intentions pure,
And stay focused.
yeah. Which takes us into number 7, which is always remember in spirituality, everything means something and everything matters. Everything matters. So, like I said, people and things are aware of you being on this path. And it's just like in the movies. In the movies, when the hero goes on his journey, right? There's always a villain. There's always somebody trying to throw them off. There's always somebody trying to make them change their path and take, you know, the dark path or the dark side. There's always that temptation. And everything matters. Your thoughts, your words, like I said, your intentions. Everything has a meaning to it. You can't be like, so for instance, let me give you an example of how this can happen. You're helping someone, you're talking to someone, you're just listening to them, you're giving them advice, and then that little seed gets planted in your mind like, oh shit, I have control of this person right now. You have to ask yourself, who's making me think this? Why is this in my mind right now? Why is this even something that I'm like? There's always a reason for it, and being intentional and being keeping your intentions pure, you will understand that it's a temptation. It's to see if you're still on the right path. It's to see if you're going to remain on the right path. All what people would call negative or intrusive thoughts, they all matter too. It all has a place. There's a reason for it, and you have to be honest with yourself. And if you can't, if you feel like I'm too weak for this or I don't know what to do next, then that's when you go to your guides. You've already built your guides, and that's what's going to keep you tethered to the spirituality part of you. See, like right now, I know that there's things that are like, shut up, stop talking, don't say anything, don't give them pointers, don't teach them anything. And I'm starting to feel it. I'm starting to feel things coming to me and for me. And so I have a choice. I can either stop talking now and, because it is going to affect me for the rest of the day. But I feel like it's important, so I need to keep going. And it's kind of funny, but we're almost at the end of it anyway. So, which kind of leads me into the next one, unless Adi, you want to say something about this or not?
No, no, I'm good.
Oh, my fucking ears are ringing.
Uh oh.
Yeah. So, okay, the last thing on the list for now, because this list is gonna keep growing. I'm gonna keep building it. I don't have like I didn't get a manual or a guide when I started this journey or this path.
I am your
And
manual.
exactly, yes. So now I'm trying to what I've learned from your teachings, and from the things that I've seen and the things that I've been through. This I'm trying to put this into paper, or into something that people, a guide, a
Mm-hmm.
manual. That's basically what I'm doing. Damn, my head. But
You all right?
so the next thing, yeah, I I know what it is. It's fine. So the next thing, what is it? Number 8. We're on number 8, I think.
Uh, I'm not sure. I'm away from my computer right now.
Oh, okay, so yeah, I think we're at number 8, which is don't be afraid to start over. If you fall off the track, if you get side swiped, like I just did, like I got, like I said, all these things are gonna come. Good things, bad things, things that are meant to throw you off, things that are meant to keep you off the right path. They're gonna come, and don't be afraid to stop and say, okay, I need help, because this isn't something, like I said. That's why you're building your guides. That's why you're building your connections to your ancestors, your spirits, your guides, your guardians, all these, even your pets, even like, there's so many things that keep you grounded, that keep you connected to your your spiritual self.
Don't
That,
ignore them.
yes, don't ignore them, and it's okay to stop and say, I don't know what I'm doing right now. That's part of starting over. What you can't do is quit. You can't say this isn't for me, because you're already here. You're already in it. You're already doing it. Does it get scary? Of course it gets scary. Do you want to sometimes quit? Yes. Like I said earlier today too, sometimes you see shit, or you experience things that you're just like, what's the point? It feels like I'm just on this never-ending path, and yes, it does feel that way sometimes, but you can't
Can
stop.
I add a cliff note real quick?
Yeah.
It can, however, depending on the situation and your choices, it can get stripped from you.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm not trying to be a Debbie Downer, but that's something that's also supposed to keep you on track. Is that I'm not trying to put the fear in you, because these aren't my rules. This is the spiritual law, that if you misuse it, or if you're not learning from it, and you're just at the point where you're just like, oh, I'm just fucking with it, or I'm just
Yeah.
testing it, like these things you don't play games with. You're Yeah, it's gonna test you, like what he said. But if you misuse it can be stripped from you. So just keep that in mind, and that's where it's supposed to keep you in line.
Hmm.
But go ahead, baby.
Yeah, I think that comes with that part of, remember that everything means something and everything matters. Your
Yes.
choices, your thoughts, what you decide, because, like I said, things will test you. Not just, okay, I might be wrong if I say the dark side and the light side, because I think that darkness or evil or whatever people want to label it gets a bad rap. They don't make you do anything. You're the one that chooses to do it. But they are there to test you. And sometimes, people always wonder, like, well, why does God let bad things happen to good people? Because it's a test. Like, it's not a punishment. I think that people have that confused. It's not a punishment. It's a test. And it kind of goes into like that modern stuff that we were talking about yesterday, going to the gym. You don't go to the gym because you already know how to lift 100 pounds of weight. You go to train yourself to get to that point. And the more you go, the better you get. It's a training exercise. That's the same thing that you're on. You're on something that's building you up. You don't go into spirituality already having these superpowers, and that's not the reason to do it. You do it because you want to fulfill your purpose. But again, things are going to try and strip you from it. They are going to try and lead you down the wrong path so that you can be weakened and you can be stripped. That's why everything matters, and everything is, there is a reason for everything. That's the same thing. Like we see these movies from that are taken from the Bible, right? And in the desert, that's why the devil showed himself to Jesus to tempt him and ask him, "Is this really what you want to do? Look at what people are doing in your name. Look at what they're doing. They're using you to get power, to get fame, to get money. Is this really what you want to do?" That was a test. That was a test, and we get tested all the time. But because we don't accept that there's a spiritual side to us, we make the wrong decisions, and then we blame it on others, and then that's that cycle. So don't be afraid to start over. It's okay to stop and be like, okay, where am I? What am I doing? Where am I going? Is this still something that I want to continue following? Like I said, you can't quit, and you won't get to any of this if it's not meant for you. That's another thing is that, like I said, we all have a path, and if your path is just to get to level one, then that's your path. That's fuck. I was gonna say something controversial. This is why I don't like doing it on your show, because it's your show, and I don't wanna trigger
I
stuff.
You don't want to trigger stuff?
Dude,
Like what?
like I was gonna say, people don't understand why God would allow a baby to die,
Mm.
because yeah,
First of all,
like people.
in my, I'm just gonna say this real quick.
Mhm.
You're not supposed to ask God why.
Yeah, like
You're
I
not
said,
supposed to
everything
go
has a
there.
reason.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
God has his reasons for everything. And I know it's hard to understand and it's hard to accept sometimes, and it is, you do feel like that's not fair. But that was that person's path. That person came to, okay, fuck. Can I get into it?
Yes, baby.
Okay. So this is just my opinion. I could be wrong, but I'm not. But you can think that I am, but I'm not. But so that baby's path, that baby's purpose was to come to this earth to teach something, to show something. So, and I'm not saying that this is a story for everyone. I'm saying, for instance, if this baby came to a couple that were selfish when it came to love, or were selfish, like selfish meaning I care about my love. I care about how people treat me. It's all about me, 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 me. This baby was put in their path to show them you can love something greater than yourself. You can put your love somewhere else. It's not all about you. Or whatever it is. That's what I'm saying. Like it's I can't really say that because I don't know why that baby was appointed to you, but the baby's purpose was to come to you, and it was that baby's purpose to come, whether it be one day, whether it be just to enter and leave, whether it be to be in your life for 3 months, whether it be whatever it was, that was the baby's purpose, and you cannot question that. Can you be angry because you thought it was forever? Of course. Can you be disappointed that you're not gonna, see this baby grow from a baby to an adult? Of course. But you shouldn't question God on his reasons. That was the baby's purpose. That was the baby's path. And like I said earlier, that's another thing that I guess would be kind of controversial is we've been here before and we will continue coming back. You have to believe that. It's up to you if you believe it or not, but that's the truth. Again, I can't force anybody to believe what's true, but I can tell you the truth, and that is the truth. So, are you gonna live your entire life then being like, oh, well, fuck all babies, and I don't want any babies, and I don't want anything like? Yeah, you can do that, but that's a choice. You're making the choice now. But everything has a path. Is basically what I'm saying, and it's okay to start over. Don't be afraid to. Sometimes you need to. That's what we call cleansing. starting over is you're cleansing. Because if your purpose is to help other people, right? Um, you cannot take their burdens and make them your own. You have to cleanse. You have to wash yourself. So it's almost like you're running a car wash. You're not gonna not wash your car, right? You're not gonna not wash your machines and stuff. Of course, you're gonna maintain them. Otherwise, how are you there to wash other people's cars? I'm going into a whole different thing. Never mind.
But I want to say something really quick.
Yeah.
I had a client that was that very specific thing that you're talking about, and
Mm-hmm.
it was really hard to go there, I guess, like knowing what that means, knowing what I know, and it wasn't something that because to other people they think that, oh, you're just saying that because you're just sympathizing with me, or like you're feeling sorry for me, but really it's everybody says that having a baby is a blessing, right? To
Mm-hmm.
bless you, the family and things like that. But when a child passes away, it is like a cleanse, like
Mm-hmm.
all that love and grieving, and just everything that you ever went through in your past that maybe you haven't gotten over, you haven't gotten through, or whatever. It is a cleanse because you needed something, uh you needed something to snap, to make you get it all out and let go. And
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, you're kind of, it just depends on the person, and like their how strong their will and their spirit is, right? That when you're I don't think a mother really stops mourning a child, but you do what the child has brought you, right? Whether they came or they end up passing away, is that you're supposed to look at the world in fresh new eyes.
Mm-hmm.
That's what having a child is supposed to do for you. It changes your entire life, whether they do grow up or they pass away. So that's what the child is supposed to do for you. If the child
Mm-hmm.
passes away, yeah, you're always gonna mourn, that child. But like Rob said, you can always try again. You can always try to have another child, but you still continue to walk this earth in a new, in a way, a new way of looking at stuff, a new way of figuring out or solving a problem, or how you look at yourself, or how you look back at your life, and it would just be like you've never lived that life before. But see, that was something that you were supposed to let go, and your child blessed you in this way to make you realize that. And that's all I'm gonna say
Yeah.
about it.
Yeah. And I think that's part of the. I kind of was gonna go into that, but then I stopped myself where I said, there's a reason and there's a lesson there. I think that's another thing that I feel is very important is to understand that we are all here to learn something, but also teach something. Like all the information that we've ever come up on is so that we could pass it on to other people. So I know that, let's just say somebody, a mother has a baby and then the baby dies. She has a choice. I'm either gonna teach other people about what happened with me, or I'm gonna become bitter and just be angry and not talk to anyone. So that's the choice that you're making, right? And you
and
have to live with
and
that.
and if you think it's okay to denounce God or blame God,
Yeah,
that's a choice.
yeah.
Mhm.
So one of those things is gonna keep you in a prison that's gonna make you suffer for the rest of your life, right? And the other one's gonna free you. The other one is gonna give you purpose. That is your purpose. Whether you, that's what I'm saying. Whether you choose to accept it or not, That's up to you. Nobody's gonna force you. God is not gonna force you. That's why I'm saying it wasn't a punishment that you lost your child. It's an opportunity, and I know people don't want to hear it, and people don't want to accept that. But it's an opportunity for you to teach other people, because there's always somebody that's losing a child, whether it's at 1 years old or a day old or a stillborn or a miscarriage. It doesn't matter. The point is, everybody loses someone. There's always going to be a parent that loses their child. And what you can do for that person is show them and teach them how that, even on the most basic term, is that they're not alone. There's someone out there that has either gone through this or will go through this with them. So then they have a choice too. Am I going to walk this path with other people? Am I going to use this as a lesson for other people? And I think that that is the right choice, but I'm not going to force anyone to accept that. I can't. I can't tell people like, oh, if you become bitter and you just lock yourself away, then that's wrong. I can't make them see that. That's a choice that they have to make. But you can't then blame that baby, right? You wouldn't tell the baby, oh, it's your fault. Why did you die? Because now I'm suffering. It's the
Mm-hmm.
same thing. Why would you ask that to God? Why would you take it and be mad at God? But I think that's a whole different story or example. I think the most basic lesson there is that you learn that lesson to teach it, to help other people. But yeah, that's the list so far. There's 8 things. I forgot already which ones they were. I had it in front of me, but I closed it out. I don't know if you want me to do a recap of them. Hold on. So 1, be intentional. 2, be honest. 3, heal the inner you. 4, build your guides. 5, build a relationship with your higher power. 6, always keep your intentions pure. 7, always remember in spirituality, everything means something and everything matters. And number 8 is don't be afraid to start over. Write those down, keep them, make a little, what is it called? Laminated cards or something. Keep it in your pocket, take it with you, use it as a little guide. I'm sure there's more, and I'm sure that I'm gonna come up with a bunch more.
You know what?
But
You should make a little meme with that list, baby.
yeah,
We'll get to work on that for you guys. Why not? It's important.
yeah. And now I need to go cleanse because I feel heavy. Should I do a list on how to cleanse?
Mm. Yeah,
Okay,
yes, you should.
I feel I need a nap now.
Yes.
No, it's too
I'm
much.
ready, babe. I'm ready.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty tired. And
Okay.
yes, I am. And I really don't think it has anything to do with me sleeping at 6 o'clock this morning. I don't think so. I really don't. Like, this is, I'm used to this feeling, like after a spiritual discussion.
Conversation. Yeah.
Yeah, I get like this. So it's just all in my face.
Yeah.
Yeah, when it's your body, yeah, it's modern. But for me, I don't know about you, but like when it's spiritual, it's all in my face. Like my face
Um.
gets tired, like my eyes get tired, and yeah, your eyes start to feel heavy. So I don't know how it
Yeah.
is for you.
Right now, for me, it's in my ears. I feel like it's weird because you know how we say like, oh, my nose feels stuffy. For some reason, my ears feel stuffy.
That's how my ears are right now. So I don't know if
Yeah.
and this feeling, I don't feel like this often. So I don't know if I'm feeling it from you
Yeah,
Because
maybe.
for me it's not in the ears. Like my ears are already jacked up. It didn't need to be anything more wrong with my ears. But yeah, like it's mostly in my face. So right
Yeah,
now my ears feel tired. And it's
yeah.
like, how do your ears get tired?
You know why though? And I again, this
Why?
is something that you taught me. I didn't know this, but um, and I don't know if you said demons or just entities or something, but or spirits or whatever ghosts that they yell when you hear like that high pitched
Oh
sound
yeah, yeah, like
that
a
they're yelling.
whistle or like a yeah, like whistling or like someone blowing in your ear or your ears ringing. That means that a entity is trying to speak to you, and it is like they're like screaming at you, and it does
Mhm.
sound like a really loud whistle.
Mhm.
So it's almost like your ears are like how dogs hear,
Yeah.
like you're hearing. Yeah, like that's what it is.
So it's almost
Okay.
like I could describe the feeling too. Like, have you ever gone to? Well, I'm asking the people, but if you've ever gone to a concert and you're standing or like you're closer to the speakers than you are to like the crowd or whatever, so you hear the ringing from the speakers. You don't really hear the crowd. That's that's how I feel right now. Like my ears are ringing, but it's
Mm.
almost like a low tone now because earlier when I was talking about the list, when I was on, I think it was number 7, where I was saying everything means something. I started hearing and feeling like they were telling me to shut up. Why
Oh,
would somebody or
what?
something? Yeah, like
Huh.
shut up. Don't say that. Don't tell them why because I'm not supposed to teach people.
Oh, you want to tell them about the bird thing?
Oh well, yesterday because I have these books and these books are like little passages because I don't know what it is, but I cannot get through the Bible. So I'm not giving up on it, but I'm looking for other avenues. So I have these books. I think one is called. I think this is. Oh no, one is called Jesus Calling. So it has passages from the Bible and it tells you where it came from, but it has like a little short 1 minute devotion, and then at the bottom it has a prayer. But in this one, it says something about. I don't have it anymore, but it says something about God is
Mm-hmm.
in everything, in the birds chirping and birds singing, and just in everything. And to me, when I read it, I was like, "Oh, this is something that people should know." So I posted it on my ex, and then later on that day, you read it right, and you said that it was weird how you had heard something about birds. So you want to
Yeah,
tell them
I
what you
was.
heard?
Mhm. I was sitting on my couch, and I didn't have anything on. Like I didn't have the TV on, music on. I was just sitting on the couch crocheting, and I heard someone yelling like won't those birds shut the fuck up or something. And I was like, what? And I thought
Mhm.
it was my neighbor, but my neighbor hasn't been home in a couple of days. I think they're on vacation. But I went out to the front of my house and I looked around and I didn't see anybody. But I
Mhm.
but I can't get over the fact that it did sound like it was like in my ear.
Mhm.
Like somebody saying like, won't those birds shut the fuck up? Or something, like it sounded really angry. And
Mhm.
then I'm waiting to hear from Rob, and I went into my phone and I was like, oh, he posted something, and I read it, and it said oh my gosh, I want to pull it up, but it was something like what you said, bird warnings, wasn't it?
Bird singing.
Birds singing.
Yeah. Hold on, let me go
Yeah,
look for it.
I'm going there too. Hold on a second. Okay, I have it.
Yeah.
It says you can find me not only in beauty and bird calls.
Mhm. The
So
first line says, "As you listen to birds calling to one another, hear also my love call to you. I speak to you continuously through sights, sounds, thoughts, impressions, scriptures. There is no limit to the variety of ways I can communicate with you. Your part is to be attentive to my messages, in whatever form they come. When you set out to find me in a day, you discover that the world is vibratingly alive with my presence. You can find me not only in the beauty of bird calls, but also in tragedy and faces filled with grief. I can take the deepest sorrow and weave it into a pattern of good. Search for me in my messages as you go through this day. You will seek me and find me when you seek me with your whole being."
yeah, I dropped that photo of your passage in the chat. So you guys can go there and check it out. And I also dropped his Twitter X link. So check out those links. But I was like, holy shit, because I heard that in the day. And
Mhm.
you posted this in what, the evening?
Yeah,
And I
it
was
was
like,
way late
holy
too,
shit.
because I typically read those books that I have. I try and do it before I get in bed, and I definitely try and do it before the day is over. And yesterday, I think it was in the afternoon. It was when you and I weren't talking on the phone. It was before the storm happened over there that I read the books and I was like, oh, I want to post this. But then I took the picture of it, and I went through my whole day or whatever, and I was already in bed, and I was like, oh, that's right, I was gonna post that picture. So I did post it kind of late, but yeah, when you read it, you told me that that's what you had heard, and I was like, whoa. That's another thing that you're gonna discover is that there is no coincidences when it comes to spirituality. That's why I said everything matters and everything means something. There's no such thing as a coincidence.
Hmm.
But yeah,
I'm tired, babe.
yeah, I was just gonna say that. I think it's time, babe.
I'm tired.
Yeah, I think it's time.
Well, thank you, baby, so much for being on the show and for talking to the people and teaching the people and giving them a list. So
Hmm.
thank you, babe.
Well, thank you, and thank you for having me.
Yeah, and we'll get to making that meme and we'll also drop the list in the description. So I'll go ahead and add it for you guys along with these the link to the passage. That way you guys can check it out and read it for yourself. And yeah, if you guys have been listening to this live, thank you all so much. And if you're listening to this on the playback, don't forget to add, rate, comment, subscribe, follow, and share. And we will check you guys on what, Monday or Tuesday? What's our schedule looking like for next week, Mr. Director?
I'm thinking Monday, Wednesday, and Friday.
Okay. At what time?
Preferably one.
If Adi gets to bed on time. Yes, I will do
Yeah.
better. Yes, for sure. That's what drugs are for. Melatonin.
Hugs, not drugs.
Hug life.
Hugs. Yeah.
Alrighty, so we will check you guys back here on Monday here at the Y Run Podcast Live, and um, yo, follow us on the twits because we do spaces. So if you guys want additional content over the weekend, then that's where you will want to go. So we will see you guys there. Have a beautiful and safe weekend, and yeah, check you guys later. Peace.